Alright guys, what's going on? This is Sodas here, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about Battlefield and then some future games that I'm excited and pretty much just waiting for now. And first, the patch for Battlefield, it looks like it's going to be probably maybe as early as next week, but more realistically, probably about 2 more weeks, because it's actually already been submitted to Sony and Microsoft. And so once they do their verification on it, you know, make sure it's not going to break the systems and whatnot, and then it's all perfect and fine, it's going to go live. And so, you know, it could possibly drop next week, but we'll see. It usually takes between like 1 to 3 weeks for the patches, and especially with this being such a monster one, I wouldn't be surprised if it was maybe even like 3 weeks. But I mean, I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully they get it finished pretty soon and whatnot. And then also with the DLC, they just released a, or it was leaked / I don't know, released, whatever you want to call it, a map or a picture of the map that was on the trailer for the Close Quarters DLC, and it's actually looking really interesting. They are saying though that it's going to be there's going to be Rush mode and Conquest still on there, but then there's also going to be some new modes that they haven't decided, that they haven't told us yet, obviously. So I think that's going to be pretty interesting, and they're also going to lower the amount of players on the PC to what the console players are on the new maps, which I think is pretty interesting, because they just said it would pretty much just be too much of a clusterfuck if they would leave 64 players on these like super small itty bitty maps. So I thought that was pretty interesting, that even they thought the maps were maybe even a little bit too small for the computer. But you know, of course, this patch is pretty much most of what's in the patch 2 is already effective on the computer now, at least. Not in everything, of course, but like the USAS is already done on the computer and stuff too. And so it's gonna be nice when you're not being killed by that pretty much with every other death, which will be nice. So we'll see how it goes once it actually comes out. But hopefully, I would love for it to be next week. But actually no, I'd probably like for it to be in 2 weeks, because Resin Evil comes out on Tuesday, Operation Raccoon City, and I've always been a huge Resin Evil fan. It was pretty much what, you know, what's pretty much one of the first games that I really played and I really enjoyed, and that was Resident Evil 2. And then I ended up getting 1. You know, I've gotten every single one on the consoles at least, and so I'm pretty excited for that. And so hopefully they have a midnight launch, because I'm always just a little geek for those midnight launches. I mean, I'll get anything at midnight, and of course, you know, I'm a true legitimate gamer, so I took the day off of work so I can just play that all night when I do that. But unfortunately, I do have school in the morning, so I won't be able to play it all night and all day. But I'll get a good solid 8 or 9 hours in, which should be pretty nice and pretty interesting. And then, you know, I'm gonna have some Resident Evil gameplay coming up too. And you know, it's third person too. They're multiplayer. You know, it's that over the shoulder crap. You know, I hate that, but you know, it is what it is, which is unfortunate. But you know, I pretty much started with third-person shooters, which was SOCOM 2 on the PlayStation 2, which was the first you know, shooter that was online for consoles, and that was yeah, I missed that game for sure. But you know, I just got so used to third-person shooters that actually I didn't play any first-person shooters until the PS3, and it took me really a long time to actually get used to first-person shooters. And now pretty much I don't even know. The last third-person shooter I played probably would have been either SOCOM 4 and the last Resident Evil, whichever that was called. But you know, I'm pretty much used to the first-person shooters now, at least, and so it'll be pretty interesting how the multiplayer is for that. One mode that I would actually love to see in Battlefield 3 that was in SOCOM 4 was it was a bomb squad thing, where you actually had one guy like in a bomb protective suit, and they had like ridiculous amount of health, and basically their goal was to go and to plant the bombs and let them explode and stuff. And they had like grenade launchers and like rockets and stuff and like auto shotguns, and they're pretty ridiculous to kill. But I would love seeing that mode on Battlefield, especially on the smaller maps. That would be pretty interesting and pretty I don't know, pretty hectic and chaotic, especially on those smaller maps. But it's going to be interesting to see, you know, what weapons take over in these close quarters, whether it's going to be shotguns or the submachine guns, because I just think it's definitely going to be pretty interesting. I can't wait for the DLC for Battlefield 3. But you know, hopefully you guys like this. I am going to probably be posting a little bit more of the helicopter gameplay, because that's just, I need to get back to my basics, where I love the helicopter. I just need to get into it more, and so hopefully that'll hopefully you guys enjoy my my random flying and stuff, and hopefully I'm not flying into too many objects here and there. But, you know, thanks for watching, guys. This is Otis, and I'm out.